Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. This is your host, David Dodge, and today I have a special guest. His name is Aaron Johnson, and Aaron is with Batch Services, and I met Aaron when I started using the Batch Dialer. So today we're going to talk all about the Batch Dialer. Aaron, how the hell are you, man?
David, man, I'm doing well. I couldn't ask for anything better than to be on the show with you and, have an opportunity to talk about the dialer. It's been a long time coming, and it's been about a year in development. So I'm excited to be able to share some things with you. Hopefully, a couple good secrets, and hopefully this will help a couple people get started up.
Man, I love it, Aaron. I appreciate you coming on today. I'm grateful for your time, and I'm sure we're gonna learn a ton about Batch Dialer, guys. Batch Dialer is basically the dialer that I'm using, but it's an all things dialer. And I love it because it works really, really well with real estate. Aaron, I got to ask, are you guys using, or do you have a lot of customers outside of the real estate niche at this point? And I'd imagine you probably do.
We have a few. So we have a couple people that do loans. We have a couple people that do roofing, construction companies. So of course we are majority servicing the real estate investment space, but we do have a couple customers that are outside of it and using the dialer successfully.
Man, that's awesome. That's so awesome. I'm going to share my screen with everybody today. And I want you to talk to me about some of the updates and some of the cool things that you guys have added recently, if you don't mind. Guys, check out batchdialer.com/Dave if you want to get a free trial. And I'll drop the link below this video. But if you're listening to this, batchdialer.com/Dave, they are going to give you guys 7 days free to test it out, and that includes unlimited dialing. Man, that is phenomenal. That's so cool. All right, so we have logged into my Batch Dialer over here, and if I go down to my reports, you're going to see there's nobody online. I don't have anybody dialing on Mondays or Sundays. I basically want to get 1 weekend day, right? So instead of making my people work 6 days a week, I let them work 5, and they do Tuesday through Saturday. Currently, Aaron, I got 3 people dialing, and they're all working 20-hour shifts. So I basically have about 60 hours worth of dialing that's happening. And if you want some perspective on what kind of call volume we're doing, so it looks like we do have 1 active agent, actually. Possibly. Nope, no calls going right now. So somebody's probably in here, or that could
Somebody
even be
signed
me.
in.
Yeah, it could even be me, right? But in the last 7 days, roughly, I think this defaults to a week. My team's made about 12,182 calls, which breaks down to about 4,000, right? 12 divided by 3 would be 4. So that's 4,000 calls being made per dialer in a week's time on average. And again, they're only working 20-hour shifts. So if they were working 40, you could expect double that. So really, we've got to give you a shout out real quick, Aaron. The dashboard is really, really great. It's come a long way. And you guys are adding so many cool things. So again, I want to hand it over to you. I'll drive, which is so cool. Make it easy for you. But yeah, tell us about some of the cool new features, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. David, one of the things that we've done is really just collect feedback. As you already know, you were one of the first people on board as a beta user. We were having conversations every week talking about, what can we do to make this dialer a little bit better? What can we optimize? How can we make the real estate investment space a little bit easier? And so some of the things that we identify, the first one that I'll go into, which I think is a huge game changer, is going to be the spam checks. So if you actually pull up,
what was that?
The spam checks for the phone numbers.
Spam checks. Okay, cool. Here, we'll share it up again here, and let's dive in, man. Absolutely. So yeah, go ahead.
So once you get that pulled up, you can see whenever you purchase phone numbers with us, we actually run every 24 hours. We want a spam check on those phone numbers. So any number that's purchased with us, we run a check on it. That way we can kind of keep your connect rates as high as possible. Right. There's a lot of companies that, for you to catch that your number's spammed, you either have to randomly change out that phone number, or you're in a position where you have to, pay for your own third-party service to check the phone number, or you just have to wait for your connect rates to completely plummet. So one of the things we did there was give it a 24-hour check. So every morning we're checking those phone numbers for you. When your number is bad, it'll show up.
It'll show up. I love it. Yeah, because I was in there the other day adding leads. I don't spend a ton of time in there because I've outsourced it, right? But there's a lot of my students that are in here every day, and I think it's phenomenal. I love it, guys. I absolutely love the batch dialer. But I noticed that one of my numbers was like yellow or orange or something like that, and it said like at risk or something, and I immediately just deleted it and bought another one and recycled in. And you had told me when we set this up, it's probably safe to do 2 numbers per person. I actually have, looks like 7 in here, 3, 6, 7 in here right now. So absolutely, man. I think that's such a great tool that you guys are doing. I didn't know that you're running them daily. That's awesome.
Yeah. We start off with once a week, and, we really got some feedback from users, that they want that spam check to be running on a more frequent basis. So we switched that weekly to daily. And then another thing that we did is there was a lot of people that wanted to bring in their own phone numbers, right? People who are using some outside platforms. Yep. We won't spam check those phone numbers. We wanted to give them that versatility. So in the top right hand corner, there's that add caller ID button right there. And what we do is you will actually take that, and if you have a number, let's just say through CallRail, right? You can enter your CallRail number and have that and use that phone number on our platform. So again, just, giving the users total control over the platform. If they want those inbound calls being, going back to their, outside caller, outside dialer, we want to give them that flexibility.
That's awesome. Man, that's so cool. So if you have numbers already and you want to call from them, boom, there you go. I love it, guys. So spam check, the ability to have any number that you own be the dialed number. I love it, man. Those right there are massive updates and very, very cool. Thank Aaron. That's great, man. What else do you guys got cooking? It's probably been a month or two since we spoke, man.
Yeah, we're pushing updates, as much as we possibly can. And then, so again, with, the keeping real estate in mind, another thing that we did is we really wanted to simplify, what the process of creating a campaign looks like. So we created 2 different views for campaign creation. So if someone wants to get really granular, David, and they want to start
let's head on over to my campaigns, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you hit create new campaign. And so we wanted to give people a couple different options, right? Do you want to have that in-depth campaign creation process, or do you want something simple? Right. So for the simple user, someone who's maybe just getting started in REI and doesn't know what the perfect settings are, right? We're going to give them the ability to use our default settings and just fly through the campaign creation process. So if you look here, right, you have campaign name, right? You can, and then after campaign name, once you get that typed in, you'll see you have your dialing mode. You have predictive or preview, right? Predictive.
Hey, what's the difference between the two, by the way?
Yeah, predictive dialer is going to automatically call through all the phone numbers for you using whatever, default of 3 lines. But obviously, once you go to our advanced mode, which we'll go to in a second, you can control that anywhere from 1 all the way to 10 lines. Yep. Preview dialer is going to be for someone who really just wants to make sure that they're taking their time and they're connecting with as many people as possible, having all the time in the world to maybe review some information about the property. So what that's going to do is actually going to populate the lead information before you call. Before you call. So before you populates the information. You can see the house that you. Yep, you can see the name of the owners. You can see all the information before you call. So it's a much slower process, but it does, guarantee high connect rates as well as, give you
you're prepared at that point.
Yeah.
You know, their name, their address, alternate names, owners, numbers, emails, comps, maybe even all that is ready. You should be ready at that point. I love it, man. That's super cool. Okay, cool. So that's the difference between those two. Caller ID, you may have number groups or individual numbers. We just have individual numbers. So we'll usually select all of those when we're going through so.
And then David, if you don't mind, hitting advanced mode in the top right-hand corner, just to kind of show people, what you're all good. Just to kind of show people, I want them to be able to see, the versatility and, just how granular you can get. One of the things that we noticed with some of the other dialers, and, it's just common across the industry, is that, a lot of the settings you actually adjust sometimes don't actually impact how your system calls. So we actually wanted to make sure that any option that we gave people on this screen would actually change how the system dials.
Love
right?
It. So clicking the advanced mode will give you more options, guys, but you are not required to do that. That's cool. So if you want to tweak it, you can, but you don't have to. So that gives us time zone, that gives us call order, and it also gives us some boxes at the bottom down here. Call recording, answering machine detection, scrub do not calls, and scrub companies. So what is the answering machine detection all about? And if somebody is wanting to drop a bunch of voicemails, now this is not ringless, guys, by the way. I actually really love the dialer for this reason. I really don't like RVMs. I think they're kind of, just not my thing. Let's put it that way. But when you are actually ringing somebody and you want to leave a voicemail, you have attempted to call them first, right? So with the answer machine detection, how does that work? And if somebody wants to drop a bunch of voicemails, would they turn that off?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question, David. So answering machine detection is basically where our system is trying to remove a certain number of voicemails, a certain percentage of voicemails that the system hits. Because when you're calling 3 people at a time, right, all 3 of those are gonna hit a voicemail, and you don't want to talk to, you don't want to leave voicemails all day, manually. Right. So what we ended up doing is if someone leaves that enabled, what it'll do is it'll try to parse out some of those. And right now we're removing, probably I want to say about 95% of voicemails from the calls. Now, in the event that you disable it, what will end up happening is we do have the ability for people to do voicemails. They can do like not necessarily a voicemail drop, but they can actually play a recording. So if someone wants to disable it, it'll connect them to more voicemails. They can have a pre-recorded voicemail in the system. And so now whenever they hit that voicemail, within 1 to 2 seconds, they can end that call, drop a voicemail, and now every person that they connect with, they have the ability to just leave them. So
you want the answer machine detection off though, to be able to drop the voicemails, right? So just real quick though, and I'm just slow, I guess. When that is on, why would somebody want that on? Because I would think that you would want to drop a bunch of voicemails. Would it be because in the event that somebody doesn't want that? Or
in the event that someone doesn't want it, someone wants to really focus on dialing and connecting with people, that is what they would do. They would leave that option on. Now, the one downside to having it on is that it does cause a little bit of delay, right? We have about, a couple of milliseconds where the system is trying to detect, is this a real person or is it a voicemail? So it does add a little bit of delay, but, for the people that are truly invested and, committed to connecting with more people and having more conversations, they're going to want to leave that voicemail detection enabled.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I've been disabling it and dropping voicemails, but to get more people on the phone, you want to keep it on. I like that. Okay, interesting, very interesting. All right, moving forward. So that covers the first step, and again, we can toggle this on and off at any time here, which I think is really cool. So next, in the simple mode, will be our calling hours and then our calling results, and we could obviously add, more call results as needed. And if we click the advanced mode, we get more options. Look at that. I love it. So this is where you would go change the dials per agent and the max attempts per record, the retry time, abandoned timeout and ring time, and then our calling hours. So you actually get quite a few more options by clicking the advanced mode. So Aaron, my people are doing 3 calls an agent. And what we'll typically do is we'll put our max records attempts up to 4 or 5. But then what we do is we do our retry time at like maybe around 10 or 15 minutes, right?
Yep.
Because we're calling them more, but we want to space it out a little bit more. But the cool thing is, guys, is you can do this however you want, right? So you decide what is going to work best for you and set it up like that. So that's really something that I love about this dialer. So
yeah, and David, and actually while you're talking about that, this is a really good opportunity for me to just mention why we have this here, right? Once you're well versed with dialers, or you have a lot of experience with the dialer, this is where you can truly optimize, right? David, we all know every list is different, every market is different, right? And trying to use the same settings on every list and every market doesn't always work. Right. So if you're calling a list that you've already called, maybe 2 or 3 times, and you're going to have a bad connect rate, you may want to bump up your lines per agent so you get through that list a little bit quicker. Right.
Good point right there. Yep.
If you're calling a prime list where you've paid good money for that list and that a lot of the numbers are good, what you're going to want to do in that case is you may want to go down to 2 lines per agent to make sure that you're connecting with as many people as possible and you're avoiding abandoned calls. So this is a really good opportunity for those high level users to really dive in and make their campaigns perform exactly the way they want them to.
Man, well said, Aaron. Well said. Dial it in, guys. That is awesome. All right. And it looks like there's only one more step. So I know we do have a call script, which we typically add, but you can add one here if you want. And then you can go in and look at all of my lists, man. I'm a power user, bro. So you can go in and you can add in this list and that list and this list. And if you do a better job of labeling your list, like this one, then you can find all the ones that, you got, right? So you can use all of these different lists. And then you can go in and you can do agents. And you can see I have 3 agents, Dana, Jane, and Rochelle. And then that would be your quick settings, right? But if you wanted to go to the advanced mode on this, there isn't any in this one. No big deal.
Nope. Nice and simple.
Nice and simple. I would save it if I wanted to save it. This was an example one. I'm just going to hit cancel. Man, the advanced settings are awesome. Aaron, those are great. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, man. That's very cool.
Not a problem, David. Glad I had the chance.
Absolutely. I'm sure you got 1 or 2 more for me, my man.
Oh, of course. Awesome. Of course.
Let's do it. All right. What you got?
So the one thing that we really wanted to do, right, and we noticed that some of the other dialers didn't have is, when you're calling through these lists and you get the right people on the phone, right, or you get the wrong people on the phone. Let's just say you get someone who says, hey, I'm not interested in selling now. These other systems, one of the things we noticed is that they're not building other lists for you. So what we wanted to do is actually make it so that users could build a call result that will build a future list for them to call on.
No way.
Right?
I like it. Okay.
So all of
where do I have? I'm going to share my screen. We're going to check it out.
Yeah. So off to the left-hand side there, we're going to click that little dial pad phone system.
Right here?
Yep.
Phone system. Got it. Okay.
We're going to scroll down to call results.
Got it. There it is.
All right. And then you just want to hit add new call result in the top right-hand corner there.
Got it. All right. So this will be a test result.
Yep.
And obviously active or inactive. I like it.
And then if you want to, you don't have to select a numbers group, but you can select what I personally find easiest is just campaigns. What campaigns do you want this to show up in?
Right. So let's say I did, all of them. Boom. There's my campaigns. All right. Got to go.
Right. So David, let's just say we get someone on the line and they're like, we get the homeowner on the phone, right? We know this is the right person. How can we then build a list, right? For someone who says, oh, I'm not interested, but I'm the right guy, right? And we want to call them back in maybe 3 or 6 months. So if you go down, you hit add new rule on the bottom right-hand corner there.
Add new rule. Okay.
You can select add to list.
Add to list. Got it.
All right. And then David, just do me a favor and hit add new list.
Okay.
And then we're going to call this just call NICB, right? So this is what I call the not interested callback list, right?
Oh yeah, NICB. So not interested callback list. Save. Got it.
Right. So now what this is going to do, and what you'd also want to do, just, just in case anybody actually wants to go make this call result themselves, is you'd want to do not read out contact right above that. So that's going to make sure that, contact, there we go. That's going to make sure that this contact, while we finish up this campaign, we don't call them again. But what it's going to do is now if we select this not interested callback call result, it's going to remove them from your current campaign and then add them to a new list. So now when you go, all the people who are like, David, I'm the right homeowner, I'm just not interested today. All those people are going to be in a list. So you can actually compile your own list of all the people who are the right contacts. Save.
Boom. That's awesome. No freaking way, my man. So I'll let my team know that NICB stands for not interested callback. I got it highlighted bright purple right there. And you went up here to add a new call result to create that, guys. That's amazing. So this is actually created a whole new list. It won't redial the contact, so it's not going to be bothering them. It's going to add them to a new list. All of my campaigns are triggered. Show on new campaign page. Yes, I want to add that because then it's going to add it on there as well. So I'm glad I came back in here to double check that. And then I'm going to take a screenshot so I can send to my team as well after this call to make sure they are aware of what's going on. Man, that was a great pro tip. You got all kinds of cool tips today, my man.
Hey, we've collected feedback. We've talked to people, we've talked to everyone from beginners to people who have been doing this for 10, 15 years. And, it's taking those little bits of feedback to just make the product a little bit better, man. We really just want to make sure that everyone has the best tool to call with.
Yeah, I have been very, very happy with the system thus far. So I love it, man. I am one of your guys' biggest supporters. In fact, we're looking to maybe grow our cold calling team right now. So loving it, man. All right, Aaron, I don't want to keep you. I know you're busy. One more pro tip, something new, something juicy, something good.
So this one is not necessarily a pro tip. This is going to be it's going to be a little bit of a bragging moment.
Hey, but I love those moments.
So I really just kind of wanted to, dive in and figure out, how can we make the best dialer for people in the real estate investment space? And what does the best dialer do, right? The best dialer connects you to more people faster. That's what it does.
Faster. I love it. Yes.
So what we ended up doing is we actually started off, we were calling, our dialer was making about 600 calls per hour initially. And which was it's a little too much for some people. So we really were like, okay, what's our optimal point? So David, I can say with confidence that we maintain one of the highest connection rates. And I'd say, from the dialers that I've personally tested, we also have the fastest dialing rate per hour while maintaining the connect rate in the 20%.
So you guys are the best.
I'm not. Hey, the best is always up. I'm saying it. To me, we're the best.
I love it. I knew it before this call started, but you just confirmed it, Aaron, my dude. I love it, man.
So, and just to give you an idea, David, in our testing, in an hour span, we were able to achieve about 300 dials and connect with almost 50 people.
Wow.
Right? This is one person. And granted, we were only looking for connections. We weren't going through a whole sales pitch when we were using it. But the amount of potential that has for users, especially people in the real estate space who are trying to get more homeowners on the line faster, this was the best thing that we could have done for them. So now I can say with confidence, in my opinion, Batch Dialer is the best dialer out there, connecting real estate investors to homeowners faster than ever.
Aaron, I'm confident of it. I'm going to say it too, man. Batch Dialer is the best dialer out there, connecting real estate investors with motivated sellers. Guys, don't forget, check out the free trial. This is what it is all about, guys. 7 days free. That includes unlimited outbound dialing. You just have to provide your own lists and maybe purchase a phone number for like $1. 7 days.
We give one free phone number.
Oh, you give one away. So it's truly free if you already have a list of numbers. Guys, this is amazing. Check it out. batchdialer.com/Dave. Use that link to get the free trial. And that does it, man. This is it. You guys are the best.
Thanks, David. And it's been an absolute pleasure.
Aaron, thank you so much for coming on today. Guys, go check it out. There should be a link below this video. If you're listening, check out the show notes for that link. You can use coupon code Dave as well, or batchdialer.com/Dave. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. Again, I am grateful for your time. And as always, it's so good to connect and see you and catch up, my man.
Thank you, David. Absolute pleasure.
Signing off.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support. And remember, you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.